it's MK and I am here with another Shimmerz Paints design team layout for you guys. I'm also playing along with Off the Board, and this is the layout from Christine Meyer that I am going to be lifting. However, I'm only going to be lifting an element from that layout, which is her ripped circle element. So that is the layout or the element that I'm going to be lifting from her. And then I'm showing you guys the pieces from my Kit Conspiracy kit that I have picked out. It is a papers that I've been working with all week long for this last week of Kit Conspiracy. I have this teal piece of cardstock that is just going to be used as a template. I'm going to put everything on this awesome off-white. And for my Shimmerz paints, I have Shimmerz in Slow Ocean, Inklings in Penny for Your Thoughts. I also have two sprays that I will be playing with today. One is a Colorings in Well Blue Me Down, and the other one is a Vibes in Hot Fudge. I love these colors. Blue and green and brown are one of my favorites. I also have a Distress ink in Ground Espresso, but I'm not sure if I'm even going to use it. I don't know the answer to that yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my this teal color or aqua color cardstock and cut it down to, actually I'm going to cut it down to 9.5 by 9.5. 10 by 10 was not enough for me. I wanted it a little bit more. Now I do know that the layout that I am copying is a circle. I didn't want a circle. I wanted a square for mine. I also thought that it would be easier for me to put a square down. So I'm going to take my square template and just trace out a line so I know where to put my mixed media. I didn't want to do too much. I don't want to do too little. And this also, if I know how much to do, it also saves me on having to go back to try and get it to come out of where I may have covered it up. Does that make sense? So sometimes if you just assume you knew where you know where you want it, you make it too small. And then by the time that you put all your elements on top of the mixed media, it ends up to where, oh, I can't see it anymore. All right, I'm going to use the packaging technique with my Penny for Your Thoughts in Colorings. No, it's not. I apologize. It's, was it Inklings or Creamies? Now I can't remember. I apologize. So Penny for Your Thoughts going all the way around my pencil line. I did erase the pencil line because I did not want it to be visible after I applied the paint. I knew some of it was going to soak in. I just didn't know how much. And I am twisting and turning my, what is it called? My packaging to make my square instead of, just blotting it everywhere. I wanted it to look like it's coming from the square. In all essence. And then of course I drew a line a little bit more bolder using, again, Penny for Your Thoughts and a paintbrush, and then I splattered with Penny for Your Thoughts, and now I am splattering with Slow Ocean. And when it dries, look at that shine. Oh my gosh, that has got to be my favorite color, and I'm running low on that color because I use it on almost every layout. It is beautiful. Okay, so what I had in mind is I want to start tearing my square. Like I said, I borrowed the idea from Christine, but I'm not lifting her layout. I just liked how she tore her circle layers and had them all grunged up by distressing the edges. And it just was a great element on her layout. And so that is what the element I want on my layout, considering I only have pretty much scraps left to play with by the time that I get to these layouts, right? Or this particular layout. So I didn't have enough peach, or I definitely would have only done peach to go throughout my whole layout. So I had to intermix some of this black polka dot. So I went ahead and I, the peach is probably 2 inches and the black is probably 1 inch. And now I'm going to go ahead and just tape them together using some washi tape. Now the washi tape that I use, I have a little bucket. Actually, it's a crate. It's a miniature milk crate that I use to put washi tape in that either A, I don't like the print of it, so I probably will never use it on the front of my layouts. Not that washi tape actually gets on the front of my layouts, but hey, wishful thinking there. Or B, it does not come off the roll nicely. It doesn't play nice with others. And by the time I pull 3 inches off, it rips. So that's very frustrating for me. So it definitely goes into my pile, my little crate that I have, for, this type of things, for, washi tape that I can use on the back of a layout or the back of a miscut photo mat. I am constantly putting my pages together if I make a miscut using the washi tape because it's super thin, and then recutting. I have no problem doing that. I've done it several times. So if you do make a miscut on your layout or for your layout, washi tape it together and recut. It's only paper. And by the time that you're done embellishing and putting your photos on, nobody's going to notice it at all. It's okay. It is totally okay. There are no mistakes in scrapbooking. None. That's why they call it scrapbooking. Yeah, because, we're just adding scraps of paper all over the place. So it's okay if they're washi together. It'll be just fine. All right, so I am using my ruler to make sure that I get the 8.5-inch square that I want, because I don't want it to go all the way in or, from edge to edge of the painted background that I just did, which, by the way, I really like how it turned out. I was impressed. Because at first I thought, no, I might not like this. I don't know. See that? I don't know. It looks like a big hot mess right now. So I went ahead and decided that I was going to ink the outside edges. I almost did not ink the frayed edge, the distressed edge. But I'm glad I did, and almost thought I needed to do that on all the pieces. And I'm glad I didn't, because I like the way it looks. So here's what I planned on doing for the rest of my square is I'm going to take this washi tape, which I'm so proud of how much washi actually made it on layouts this week on the front of the layout. That's impressive. I don't ever use washi on the front of a layout. Just saying. So anyways, I'm going to take this washi and I'm going to rip it. So that way it looks distressed just like my square does. My square is not perfect. I don't want the washi tape to be perfect either. And so all I'm trying to achieve is getting this chicken wire, sorry, I almost forgot what it was called, getting this chicken wire distressed on all the edges. Well, my square is 9.5. These are 4-inch wide. Had I have done the math, just saying, had I have done the math, I would have known how many pieces that it would have taken to do this part of the layout and not pieced it all together like this. But again, nobody's going to notice that the chicken wire does not match up, line up, whatever. Nobody's going to notice. I don't even notice by the end. So now that I've got the chicken wire in the background, I absolutely love it. Did I need it to cover up the whole thing? No. And that's why when I filled in the middle, I didn't do from top to bottom. I just did the edges because nobody's going to notice it. And then the first piece, I just ripped in half and used it on either side. So it's all good. Now these photos are funky little photos that my friends caught of me being goofy. That was that. So I was feeding the baby cow and concentrated on the baby cow that I didn't realize that the big cow came over and stuck its face in my face until I looked up and was like, whoa. And one of my friends, just at that perfect time, caught that on camera. And it was the highlight of the rest of the day. And then, of course, after I had gotten done feeding the adorable baby cow, it wanted more. And it stuck its head in between my legs. And it was just the funniest thing to me. It was so adorable. It was so cute. And I could not stop laughing. I had so much fun going and feeding baby cows, you guys. It was so much fun. A lot of work. I cannot believe this gal does this 3 times a day. It's a lot of work. We were asking her questions about how much it cost and all that stuff. But what happens is she is taking care of these animals. These animals need medicine, and that's why their moms don't feed them anymore, is because they were too sick to take care of. And so the farmers didn't want them. and she inherited these cows through the farmers, so at no cost to her, except for the fact that it is costing her because of the milk and the medicine that she has to purchase to keep these cows healthy enough to eventually end up at market. So I'm sorry, these are not pet cows. They do serve a purpose, so she does eventually get her money back. But I just have to say that she does put in a lot of effort, to get the cows fed and healthy again. So it's awesome, you guys. It really is. We enjoyed talking to her. We enjoyed listening to what she does. It really was pretty cool, in my opinion. And I really liked learning about it. I had no idea. There's all sorts of aspects about the farming industry that I've never even paid attention to, and this is one of them. So it was fun. All right, I got another stacked animal. Yay, on a page. That's so awesome. And of course, this one here reminds me of the Funny Farm. So yeah, that's that's the only thing I can think of. No, I don't title it Funny Farm. In fact, I don't even think I titled this page at all. But I do have little tickets and labels there that say the very best, and try to get a bunch of labels on there, but I don't think that any of them make it. And the other one says, be happy, be you. I thought that was absolutely perfect as well. And then these little pops of black vines from Close to My Heart was also the perfect touch. And I can never seem to cover up, ever. I can't cover up a piece of greenery at all. So I'm going to cut it in half and repurpose it, find it a new home, because I can't cover up a leaf, you guys. I have to see them all. Even if it's just a microscopic little tiny leaf, I have to reuse that leaf. It's going to find a home, I promise. So tucking it here and there, tucking it over here, sticking it out of the cow's mouth, that doesn't work either. Finally, I find a home down here by this label. Yep, beautiful. Some of the dark brown labels, those are no waste packaging from Not Just for Boys Kit Club. I love them. I love having them handy and hanging around. I've got a couple left, and now they are starting to print in different colors. So I really like that as well. So that's super fun. Okay, finally deciding on where I really want my photos. And all of these little flowers here from the Cottage Field sticker sheet do end up getting cut because they just were at a weird angle. I didn't like how the stem was going straight up and then the flower dipped down like it was too heavy for its own stem. So I do end up cutting them all off and reapplying them to make them work for my layout. All right, and I'm also trying to use up all of these orange flowers that came from the the farmhouse garden collection, because they match the brown cow that came to say hi very well. I was very happy to see how that matched. And I'm trying to add in all the colors. I've got a little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of orange, a little bit of pink. I'm trying to add all the colors in because this is kind of a montage page, and it's just a fun page to put together. So there's really no rhyme or reason as to, why I need to add this here and add that there. It's just me having fun and playing. I really do like this addition, or the additions of these little vines from Close to My Heart. I thought that they were absolutely a perfect add-on for this layout. I don't know. They brought everything together, even though it was a mismatch of a bunch of stuff. Adding a few butterflies here and there that I have left over, and who needs all these butterflies in their lives? I don't. That's a lot of butterflies. But I do like how they just tuck in and fill in here and there. I did bring in a ton of hearts that I don't end up using. So if you notice over on the right, I have yellow hearts and brown hearts and blue hearts and pink hearts. I just don't end up using all those hearts. I like how this layout looks the way it is, that I didn't think it needed the sprinkling of the colors. I just really didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and, fine tune everything, make sure everything is glued in place, especially where I was tucking items. I did use my fingers to kind of curl up those close to my heart vines, but I have to tell you guys, their cardstock elements, as far as embellishing and stuff like that, top notch, you guys. I have to say that is super thick cardstock, almost borderline chipboard. It is very cool. So when I curled them up, they held their curl. They did indeedy. And so it was just one of those things. All right, going through, and I have some collage hearts that I added to this layout, but not very many. And then lastly, through my painted border, I am going to add some squiggly lines using my black Moji pen, just really, really quickly, and didn't care if they were really weird or anything. And then I'm also going to go around all of my hearts and make sure that they have a black border, just because they blended in a little bit too much. Okay, finishing off this page, I thought that I was, but I'm not. I brought in my Hot Fudge Vibes to bring in some of that sprinkling from the border down into my clusters. I really liked that. And then I'm going to use the Well Blue Me Down also, and bring in some of that blue from the border as well. So it's almost like the border spilled into my layout. So I really like how they, how that brings that border in to my page, because if not, it just seemed like, well, she added that page to that border and it doesn't make any sense. But when you add the sprinkling around it, it really does. One of the things I also love about the Shimmerz product is that shine that you get. It's not a, especially these colors, I'm sorry, it's not a girly glitter shine. It's totally different. It's hard to explain, but gosh, it looks really good, especially Slow Ocean. You guys, that one's my favorite. Oh. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had a blast creating this layout using all the little leftover bits and pieces. I love playing with my scraps and seeing what comes from the scraps. Also, too, be sure to check out the Shimmerz Paints website to go and see all of the beautiful colors that they have available in ink pots as well as sprays. If you put my name down in the comments when after ordering, you will get a freebie in your order, so be sure to check that out. Here are 2 more videos for you guys. One is for the Shimmerz Paints design team, as well as the Off the Board, because there's a list of gals going on down below in the description playing along with Off the Board. So if you're interested in checking out any more of those layouts, they are there as well. So anyways, thank you so much, and I'll check y'all later. Bye!